Hey, what's up guys? So today we are going to be going over the best games that I saw over at Gamescom 2020. Some of these games technically had like betas and other things before, but some of these are going to be new. And just as a heads up, I will not be covering every single game here, but I will pin it down below a video that will have every single game's trailer, as we are all interested in different things. But I wanted to go ahead and highlight the things that I was personally interested in, as a lot of you guys will definitely be seeing these games on the channel in the future. So the first game over here is Spellbreak. This game is a battle royale game, and we did participate in the beta, and I made a video a while back with this game when the NDA lifted, because I did participate in the earlier alphas of the game. But this game has a really cool concept. Basically, it is a battle royale game with magic, and how it works is you're able to kind of mix magic together, and it's really cool. You have these two different gauntlets. And basically how it would work is if you would have one gauntlet that would throw a fireball and one that would be like a wind one. One would create, let's say, a tornado with like wind, and you would see this tornado. And then if you throw a fireball into it, it'd make a fire tornado. It's really cool, and you can definitely mix and match a lot of these different elements and have really cool, unique gameplay. And I like the concept of it a lot. I'm really curious to see when the game finally launches over here, as it's going to be launching very soon, and I'll definitely cover this game as well. It just felt like if there was any game to dethrone Fortnite by watching the trailer, I felt like 100% I would have bet my money on Spellbreak. Now, when I did participate in the earlier like betas and stuff, the player base in this game wasn't the highest. Like certain times, it would just take a long time to get a game. It could be just because they didn't give out enough keys. But in terms of its popularity, I hope it can become more popular, and I hope that they'll add enough content to keep people interested in participating in the game, as I feel like this game definitely has so much potential. But yeah, that was Spellbreak over there. The next game I wanted to go ahead and talk a little bit about is Aragami 2. I never thought this game would get a sequel. They're going to show off some gameplay here in a second, but they're also talking about, I want to kind of just fast forward to the gameplay. Again, I'll link these all down below. But if you guys haven't seen Aragami 1, because obviously this is the second one, it's basically a stealth assassin game. If you guys maybe played Tenchu in the past, or kind of Ghost of Tsushima, because there is kind of some stealth elements in that game. But yeah, this game is absolutely awesome. Well, the first one's awesome. The second one I haven't played yet, but I'm sure it's going to be just as awesome just by looking at the gameplay. It's really cool. It has this mechanic where you're able to create shadows and teleport and basically use them as mobility. It's a really cool game too. And on top of that, one thing that's really cool is you can summon these shadow demons to hide the bodies. I'm just going to fast forward to the gameplay. But one thing that they are doing with Aragami 2 that's different here is going to be being able to actually engage with your enemies a little bit more. Because previously the game was mostly just stealth. Like if you were trying to fight like people, you would basically just lose, essentially. The game didn't really support like a go in guns a-blazing, although there's no guns. There's potentially kunai for range, but this game looks like you can have two buddies with you, which the first one let you did play co-op, but it made the game super easy. But at the same time, this is a game that I never expected to get a sequel, so I'm super happy that this game is getting a sequel. In fact, I would say in terms of like the most hype for any of the games at Gamescom, this one has to be number one, because I never thought this game would get a sequel, and I really like games like, if you guys have played like Tenchu in the past or Ghost of Tsushima, you'll definitely enjoy this game as well. And if you guys want to watch the full gameplay playthrough of the first Aragami, I'll go ahead and pin that down below, as well, as it's a really cool game and you can be basically up to speed. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot more of these shadow demons that you can summon. Anyways, the next one up is actually Doom Eternal. We played through the full entirety of Doom Eternal already, but this is the expansion. This is the DLC. The Ancient Gods is the name of this one. In the trailer, though, unfortunately, I didn't really get to see anything too new. The scale of some of the things look a lot bigger. There's this little, like, water vehicle that you can see. I'm wondering if you can shoot in it. I'm hoping to see new gameplay mechanics here versus just, like, more content. Although the gameplay in Doom Eternal is so amazing, I would not really mind it. And I'll buy it even if they don't add new weapons. But I'm really hoping to see some sort of new weapons, maybe even vehicles, or just something to really have that hype factor, other than Doom Eternal being awesome already. I just would like to see some newer content here. Again, the game scale definitely looks bigger, as you'll see with some of these areas that get shown off, but it looks kind of like more of the same, which, again, I really liked it, so I'm okay with it. But hoping to see them add some new content here. Again, not just in terms of enemies, but more so new weapons. And I'm wondering if the multiplayer will get a revamp or if they'll add. I know a lot of people want to do like soldiers versus soldiers, as that was in the previous Doom game. The other one's kind of more like a one person gets to play as the Doom Slayer, the other people have to play as like the monsters. Which was an interesting concept, but it just didn't hold my interest personally. It wasn't a game where I would have just bought for the multiplayer, but you can see the double Marauders over here. I'm hoping to see also other weapon upgrades. That's another way where they can add a lot more newer content over here. I guess they're also coming out with the deluxe edition that probably has all the DLC, the definitive edition, right? Next up over here, this is the next Dragon Age is I guess what they're calling it. But they don't really show off too much gameplay. There is some like early development gameplay, which you guys will see. They do a lot of talking here, which in every single one of these, in fact, when I watched like the 8-hour version of all the things at Gamescom, oh my gosh, I had to fast forward. In fact, I was watching it live and I was just like, I'm just gonna go pause it, and I ended up fast forwarding through a lot. A lot of the stuff is talking, which I just want to see the games, man. I don't want to hear about talking, and like I understand. If they want to talk about, just have like a little picture of it. I'm here to see the new games, not to hear about other things. But anyways, I want to go ahead and highlight some of the, they do show off some of the facial animations. In fact, the other night we went back and played Dragon Age Inquisition, and the facial animations in that game are really good. The voice acting is great, just like most of the BioWare games. But what really suffered, I think, from the game was really the combat. If you guys go back and play Dragon Age Inquisition multiplayer and you start off with the 3 starter heroes, the gameplay is really, really lackluster. Really underwhelming. But I hope, and I'm looking at the gameplay, you can see that there's a dodge roll. There's, again, early development gameplay where you're seeing basically the skeletons, if you will, of what they are working on. And I think that that's kind of cool to go ahead and see it as it develops. To show off some, basically, the voice acting. But they've always done a good job with that. I'm mostly interested in seeing what this game really offers that is going to be new. And it just looked like, yeah, there was a dodge roll, and I'm sure the gameplay will be a little bit better. But speaking of a gameplay that's like a third person, but yeah, I'm still interested in Dragon Age. It's just that I wanted to see a little bit more with that one, so I kind of skimmed that one really fast. But there really wasn't too much to see with that. The next one up, this is not a game that was newly announced at Gamescom. However, this is Godfall, and they did show off new content here, and this is by Counterplay Games. Some of you guys remember the game Duelist, which I absolutely loved and I covered extensively. Even though, like, technically when I originally worked on that was a sponsored video, but I ended up loving the game so much, I created several videos after it because I liked the game so much, and I really felt like they understood a lot of gameplay design and elements, and I'm really hoping that will transfer over to Godfall, which will be quite awesome as well. So this game is an action RPG. It's like third person. It is going to be looter driven, and it looks relatively fast paced. Looks like there's sort of elements where you do have to time your attacks. Like, it's not going to be super fast paced like Devil May Cry, although they did mention that it's going to be kind of similar to it. So I'm hoping that certain classes will be a lot faster than others, and there's one that can dual wield, so I'll probably go with that one, as I really do like looter-driven games like Diablo. Heck, that's what I cover a lot on my channel, is action RPGs, and this one is going to be a third person, and I'm hoping that they can really make the loot good in this game to have a lot more like proc modifiers versus just numbers, which Marvel's Avengers is a lot of just numbers games, and I really feel like there can be a lot more depth to action RPGs like Path of Exile, where you have these uniques that completely change up some builds and those sort of things. So I'm hoping that this game will offer a lot of time to dip into the theory crafting in the game. But yeah, there's basically just new gameplay trailer that was shown off over here. And then in addition to that, this is Scarlet Nexus. This is a game that smaller things over here. But if you guys want to check out all of the games, I'll link it down below. But I felt like a lot of the other people here, which if you read the comments of a lot of the Gamescom trailers, a lot of people were like, "What the heck, dude? We missed out on like these are all the games that were announced right here." By the way, some people are just interested in other things, and that's totally fine too. But I didn't see anything that was like, "Oh my gosh, this is game breaking" in terms of next gen gameplay mechanics, as we're technically getting those new consoles. So I was really hoping to see a lot of things for the PS5 and the new Xbox. But yeah, there's a lot of other games to go and check out. There's a VR game, that looks alright, but for me, I'm just not personally interested in playing VR games for the most part, even though I have a Vive myself. But a lot of people were saying that like it was super underwhelming. I miss E3. But there are some other games to check out. I just wanted to mention that at the end of the video, as you know, that wasn't everything covered here. But I want to say it was a little bit underwhelming. I wanted to see a lot more titles here, but I'm still looking forward to all the things I mentioned over there. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And if you want to see any of these games, as again, we'll be covering all of these games. Well, all the ones that I mentioned, we'll definitely be covering on the channel very soon. But like I said, let me know what games you guys are excited about that maybe I did not cover. And I'll catch you in the next video. And if you guys want to see it and you're new here, subscribe, turn on that bell, and you'll definitely see a gameplay of the games that I said I was interested in. And I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good one, and I'm out. Peace.